Hello, hello, hello. This is Dave Gilbert, and this is the audio commentary for Blackwell Unbound. Some of the basic stuff out of the way. You can hit any key on the keyboard to shut me up. If you get sick of my voice or you just want to get on with the game, just hit any key on the keyboard and your wish will be granted. Don't click the mouse, though. That won't work. So the two questions that everyone seems to be asking are, number one, why Lauren and Joey instead of Rosa and Joey? And number two, why the simpler graphic style? Well, number one, I'll answer that one first. First of all, this game was originally part of a much larger game called the Blackwell Convergence, which was much bigger than could possibly be created in a reasonable amount of time. So I cut some sections out of it, and some of those sections were flashback sections where you play Lauren and Joey in the 70s, so I cut them out. And then as time went on, I realized, hey, you know, Convergence is still going to take a long time to make. Wouldn't it be nice if I could release something kind of in the meantime? Something small and simple, just to get something out there, to get people's attention back on me and earn some money and blah, blah, blah. So I took the sections that I cut out, and I looked at them and I thought, hey, you know, this does fit together really well on its own as a standalone game. And so I put a small team together. I got Aaron Robinson on board, and I found Thomas Reagan, and we put together the game. And I wanted to keep it simple because I wanted to get it out reasonably quickly, using whatever was left over in the budget, which wasn't much, by the way. But I think it turned out really well, and so that's why I created this game the way it was created. Anyway, click that new game button and play the game. You don't want to listen to me talk anymore.
Infinity. I've been told it's beautiful, but I don't think it's anything special. But when you live like me, most things become quite ordinary. Life, death, tormented souls, it's all the same to me. Sometimes I wonder if anything will ever surprise me again. Sometimes I wonder if I even care.
When I sat down to play this game for the very, very first time after I finished programming, I realized I didn't like how it started. It started off with Lauren slamming the door and yelling at Joey, and they have that little interchange, which is funny and cute, and it's a nice way to introduce the characters, but it set the wrong tone for the start of the game. So I went and did this little quick scene, which I think changes the tone just enough to give that funny exchange later a little bit more of a darker overtone, and makes it a little bit more sad now that you know a little bit more about who Lauren is. So that's why I added this. It wasn't there originally.
And stay out.
Aw, hey, you know I don't like that. What's your beef, anyway?
Returning for the third time in a Wajidai game is, of course, Abe Goldfarb, who is reprising his role of Joey Mallone. Working with Abe, as I've said many times before in previous games, commentary, is always a pleasure, and Abe has become very good at the whole voice acting thing. I've noticed in doing voice acting and directing voice acting, there's a lot of technique involved with holding your breath a certain way and stuff like that. And it's really hard for a seasoned actor to get their head around because they're used to projecting and emoting and using their breath a lot to convey emotion. And when you do voice acting, you can't do that. And Abe has really gotten a handle on it. Joey has a much wider range of emotions in this game, and Abe is such a good actor. And if you listen to the blooper reel, it sounds like it's all fun and games. He cracks a lot of jokes. He is a very funny guy. But at the end of the day, when push comes to shove, the guy is totally focused, totally serious, and does amazing work. He's just one of the best actors I know, and it's always great to work with him.
I am not talking to you.
Oh, promises, promises. So what's next on the list?
What's next? The balcony.
Why, gonna throw yourself over and join me?
No, I'm having a cigarette.
Great, you want a cigarette. What am I supposed to do?
You can do whatever the hell you like. Just one. Then I can get on with this.
Danny did a funny thing when doing some of Lauren's lines. She took a pen off the desk and would hold it between her fingers like a cigarette and deliver her lines holding that fake cigarette, and it would sometimes take a drag from it. And it really was kind of funny. I wish I had taken some pictures. It was really funny just to watch her hold this pen in her hand, delivering these lines like she's holding a cigarette. It was pretty cool.
Hey,
What?
why the heck are you so mad?
You honestly don't know.
I have no idea.
Typical. If you don't know, I'm sure as hell not going to tell you.
Take another drag of that cigarette, darling. You get real ugly when you stop smoking.
Oh? Is that right?
Well,
Ugly, am I?
take it easy, dear. It was just a little joke.
A joke, yeah. I'm a riot. Like today, when those pipes burst.
Oh. Wait, is that what's got you in such a guff?
I got soaked, and you just laughed.
Alright, I'll try and hold it in next time.
It was cold and wet and slimy. It wasn't funny.
You should have seen the look on your face. The way you jumped up and down and ran in circles, squealing.
Still wasn't funny.
If you say so.
Writing the dialogue between Lauren and Joey was a pleasure. It was so easy, and I'm not saying this to brag. I'm saying this because writing the dialogue between Rosa and Joey in Blackwell Legacy was a heck of a lot more challenging. With Unbound, with Lauren and Joey, these two characters already know each other, so they can say anything to each other. They can banter, they can joke around, they've known each other for a long time. With Rosa and Joey, it was totally different, because these are two characters who were getting to know each other over the course of the game. So I had to, whenever I gave them dialogue, I had to be aware of what stage of the relationship they were in. So there was a lot more challenge with Legacy than there was with Unbound. And I enjoyed writing for these two characters a lot. I'm trying to think of other adventure game protagonists that smoke. I think Manny Calavera smoked, but he was dead, so it didn't really matter. I can't think of any other player characters that smoke as much as Lauren. I really like the fact that she smokes. It was a decision I made way, way, way back in 2004 when I was originally designing the backstory. I knew that if I was ever going to do a flashback with Lauren, that she would be a chain smoker. It really establishes this addictive, self-destructive personality that she has. And I love the animations. It made things a lot more difficult. The whole animation of her smoking, I had to double the animations, like her walking, her talking, all this other stuff. But I like the fact that she'll just kind of randomly light up. If you control Joey for too long, Lauren will get bored and just light up and start smoking. During certain conversations, she'll start smoking. She'll take a drag at certain moments. It added a little bit of nice little dramatic pauses, added some drama to it. And I really like the smoking. Really works well, and she smokes a heck of a lot. I actually added a little function that keeps track of how many cigarettes she smokes. So at the end of the game, you'll find out how many cigarettes she smoked over the course of the game. I like this a lot.
Okay, I'm finished. Let's get on with this.
There's a few things we haven't checked, right?
Yes, I've got the list right here.
Well, let's check it. Every other case today has been a false alarm. Maybe this will be an easy night.
Ugh. Every one of these leads has been a dead end. Just 2 more to go and we can call it a night.
In the previous Blackwell game, the Blackwell Legacy, the pacing was kept pretty slow. And I did that on purpose because in order to introduce this supernatural element to a world that was really grounded in reality, I had to keep it kind of slow paced. It would be too jarring if the pace was any faster. And with this game, I didn't have to do that because it's already been established, and so you could just get right into it. And that's why I wrote this case list. There was no messing around with slow exposition. You just got this case list and bam, you're right into the thick of it. So that's why I designed it this way.
Got it. I guess I could take this along. This is a little recording device. It's called a dictaphone. I've been using it to record my dreams. Testing. Hello? Does my voice really sound like that? Gotta cut back on the cigarettes. Anyway, I've been having some extreme dreams lately, but I don't remember any of them. I get the strangest feeling that they're important, but I can't put my finger on why. I'm keeping this recorder next to my pillow so I can record what I remember as soon as I wake up. First entry, February 21st? Is it? God, my head. I dreamed tonight. It's already fading away. I saw my mother. She was calling out to me and waving. She was smiling, and her face was bright, so bright. I see a child, 7 or 8 years old. She's surrounded by other children, but she's all alone. I call out to her, but she doesn't hear. Something is wrong. With me? With her? It's fading. I see a man in tattered clothes. He looks at me and screams. I look in a mirror and see a huge horned demon. For some reason, I'm not surprised. I'm on the Brooklyn Bridge staring at the seaport. I'm alone, strangely at peace. The water, it looks so cool and inviting. Suddenly I'm in the water, floating. I dreamt I was in a strange room. The walls are a deep pink, and there are books and papers everywhere. Joey is behind me, trying to get my attention. I ignore him. I feel strangely good about it. I see Jack and Maria. They're far away, but I know it's them. I see his glasses and her bright red hair. I want to join them. I run to catch up. I almost get there, but I trip and fall. Maria turns to help me up, but it's not Maria. She's got red hair like Maria, but it's someone else. She says she's sorry. Then I wake up. I'm in a hospital room. There's a Chinese girl lying on the bed. I want to help her, but she doesn't want to be helped. Suddenly, I say a magic word, and her eyes widen with trust. I've made a friend, and yet I don't want her friendship. I run away. I'm on a fire escape. I'm talking with a man who wants to be my friend. Suddenly, his face turns blue. He can't breathe. He dies. It's my fault. I could have stopped it. I'm in a huge house. I see gas lamps and electric lights. I look into a mirror and see an old woman. She reaches out of the mirror to grab me. I take her hand and hold it tight. Then I wake up. I'm on a train speeding away into the night. Next to me is a man. I know nothing about him, yet I trust him. I think I love him. Then he disappears. What did I do wrong? I'm trapped somewhere bright. I see my mother and a woman I don't recognize. I see Joey far away, calling out for me. We're fighting for our lives, but it's too late. The world goes dark. I hate that dream. Testing. Hello? Does my voice really sound like that? Gotta cut back on the cigarettes. Anyway, I've been having some extreme dreams lately, but I don't remember any of them. I get the strangest feeling that they're important, but I can't put my finger on why. I'm keeping this recorder next to my pillow so I can record what I remember as soon as I wake up. Hey, Joey.
I'm all ears, sweetheart.
Say cheese.
Having fun?
Last time I counted, I had around $60 in here. I'll save it for when I really need it. Come on, let's get out of here.
Danny Marco, who plays Lauren here, is without a doubt the most professional actress I've ever worked with. Not only that, is the most accomplished actress I've ever worked with. She is a minor star, and I'm not exaggerating. She's been in a movie with Chris Rock. She's had major one-off roles in Sopranos and Law & Order. She's had leading roles in many independent films. She's done voiceovers for tons of commercials. She's been in a bunch of commercials. I met her at a party hosted by Heavy Melody. They're an audio house here in New York, and they do audio and music for games. I was introduced to her as a voice actress, and of course, being a person who always needs voice actors, I was talking to her, and I realized after 2 minutes, she'd be perfect for Lauren. Absolutely perfect. She had this wonderful, sultry, smoky voice, perfect for something like this. And I asked her, there was a lot of free alcohol at this party, so I kind of, after talking to her, I was like, hey, I want to be in my game, and I was a little drunk, but she listened to what I had to say, was interested in the project, was willing to work for cheap, meaning I'd buy her pizza after every recording session, and a couple of days later, after the alcohol had worn off, I got back in touch with her just to make sure she was still interested, and she was, and it was just an absolute honor and pleasure to work with her. It was an interesting experience working with someone who had such a full schedule. Like, she'd come over to my little apartment, put on this cheap little headset mic, and tell me, yeah, I just came back from shooting an Oil of Olay commercial where she'd be the girl, like, splashing the water on her face, or she was doing, she's traveling to London for a photo shoot or somewhere. She's always traveling somewhere or coming back from somewhere, and in between, she would work on my little game. So it was flattering that she was interested in this project.
Right behind you.
Since most of my games, or just about all of my games, take place in New York City, many people asked me if I was ever going to deal with the whole World Trade Center thing. And I always said no, or at least not yet. It's not something I feel very emotionally, mentally equipped to deal with. Being a New Yorker, having been in the city at that time, that's not a place I wanted to go. It was a very bad place for me to go. But since this game takes place during a time when the World Trade Center existed, it seemed like a good opportunity to at least acknowledge it. And also it serves as a nice reminder that this game does not take place in the present. Everyone in the world knows about this, and every time you go to the map screen, bam, there's this huge friggin' reminder that this game takes place in the past. So that worked pretty well. So, like, what were your thoughts going into it? You saw the picture, right?
Yeah. He sent me some photos, and I kind of amalgamated the cool bits into one background. And you can see in the background there's the Twin Towers there, because this game is set in the 70s, and they would have still been there, which I thought was an interesting touch. I'm not sure if many people will notice that, but that's in there.
Once they get to the map screen, I'm sure they will.
Yeah, well, it's pretty obvious there.
Yeah.
But you mentioned that if you were in this place in real life and looking that direction, they would actually be in the complete opposite direction. But artistic license.
Exactly, yes. Because originally it was supposed to be in Battery Park, and you could actually see the towers from Battery Park. From Roosevelt Island, you really can't, but like you said, artistic license, whatever.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Looks like another bus, Joey.
Yeah, maybe. Or maybe not.
This is a real location. You could actually go to New York City, go to Roosevelt Island, and find this exact spot. Originally, this scene was supposed to take place down in Battery Park City, in the park by the water, because I actually saw a homeless jazz man playing there once, and that always stuck with me, that image of this lonely jazz guy by the water in Battery Park playing the saxophone. But then one day I was over at Roosevelt Island. I happened to have my camera with me, and I saw this view, and something about the composition of it just looked really nice, and I thought it would be perfect for an adventure game background. So I took a picture, and I decided to change the location. So it's now Roosevelt Island instead of Battery Park.
Wait, you hear that?
I think so.
Let's get closer. Hey, look. Looks like our evening might not be a total wash after all.
Say cheese. Hey, mister. Hey, mister. Yoo-hoo, I'm talking to you. Hello?
He's not hearing you, kid.
Nice tune. You write it yourself? I'm Lauren Blackwell. What's your name? What are you doing here? Kind of late to be out, don't you think?
The dead don't keep normal hours, dear.
I think I've forgotten what normal hours are. Ugh, forget it.
Hey, Mac, the name's Joey. Ah, the talkative sort, are we? Well, we'll soon sort that out. Pay attention, you fat chump. I'm talking.
That's your idea of intimidating?
Quiet, will ya? So, nice night, huh? That's a pretty nice instrument you got there. Mind if I have a look? Hey, do you feel restless? Like you've got somewhere to go but don't know where? It means you're dead, Mac. Can you even hear me? Hey, you got a cigarette? I could sure use one. Hey, do you know where the Guggenheim Museum is? The wife and I have been trying to find it all day.
The wife?
Shh!
After recording this dialogue, I had this sudden fear that the Guggenheim didn't exist during this time period, so I quickly looked it up, and fortunately the Guggenheim had been around since the 1930s, so that was a close call, ladies and gentlemen.
I'll be back, pal. Don't you worry. Hey, I'm talking, Buster.
Hey! You let go!
One of the advantages to being good friends with actors is that they tend to know plenty of other actors, so when I am in need of actors, I can usually mine that networking vein, and the guy who originally was supposed to play Isaac Brown couldn't do it. I met Daryl when I was hanging out with Abe once at this bar, and he had a couple of his actor friends there, and we were all talking, and the subject of what I did for a living came up, and Daryl was like, oh, if you ever need voice actors, I can do voice acting, and Abe piped up, he's like, yeah, Daryl's awesome, and I kind of looked at him and said, well, can you do an old jazz man type voice? And he just launched into this whole big impromptu thing, and I said, dude, that's awesome. I could definitely use you. And so he came, he did the lines, and he just nailed it. He was so perfect. So I'm definitely going to be using this guy again.
I need to ask you a few questions first.
Nah, now, man. Can't you see I'm in the middle of something? Get off the stage!
Stage?
some of the early criticism of this game before it even came out was that it didn't have character portraits, the dialogue portraits, the close-ups that you got in Shiva and Blackwell Legacy. There was mostly a financial decision. I just wanted to keep this as simple as possible, and it turned out to be much more work in the long run. It wasn't out of laziness that I didn't have dialogue portraits. It actually caused a lot more work for me, because like right here, there's this animation of them struggling over the saxophone, but they don't only struggle over the saxophone, they also talk. So I had to include talking animations for both of them, and I had to animate them separately so they could talk separately. And it was difficult to get that to sync up properly, because yeah, they would grab the saxophone, but then I would have to separate them so they could each talk individually, and they had to still float, bob up and down individually. It would have been so much easier just to have one animation of them bobbing up and down, holding the saxophone, and just keep using the talking portraits, the close-up portraits. That would have made it a lot easier to code. So it wasn't entirely out of laziness, because it was a lot more work to do it this way.
Ow!
Now, this one took you a while. It was the Joey and Isaac fighting and getting hit thing.
Yeah, that was fun to do. I was at home at the time. That was the week before Mittens, when I had just gotten back from Europe, and I was spending some time with the family. And we were working in the basement on this, have this elaborate thing open in paint. And my brother, who's 19, had a bunch of his friends over who were like, "What the hell are you doing?" I'm like, "It animates. Look." He hits him with a saxophone. It's a ghost and another ghost. It makes sense.
It totally makes sense. I mean, if they couldn't get it, they're just not cool enough.
Yeah, clearly they're the ones who aren't cool.
Exactly. Well, we're cool in a different way. We're a whole different level of coolness.
Yeah.
I'm making no sense.
That's how we treat your kind at Johnny Ivory's.
Johnny Ivory's? What are you talking about? Hello? Oh, we're dealing with a real sharp tack here.
Talk about the map.
Oh, the map, yes. Tell me, you spent a long time on that map.
Yep.
And you're still working on it,
Still
right?
working on it. Some more details to finish up. But yeah, I thought it'd be neat, instead of having the top-down view, to have it be kind of a city skyline and just label the different locations around New York. I know how much you like pointing out in the city where everything is, so I try to make it as accurate as possible based on your sketch you sent me.
You know me too well.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get this in the final version, but I wanted to have moving clouds going in the background and maybe some boats going through the water, just because I think it'd be cute to sit there and watch the map and be like, okay, I guess I can move on. Oh, but a sailboat just went by.
Someone kind of, one of the beta testers mentioned, wow, this is a really long night.
Yeah, no kidding.
How long is this? Only just over one night? Suspension of disbelief.
Lauren has a scooter that we never get to see, but
yeah, she actually has a jetpack that she just
she flies
straps
on Joey.
Yeah, she just walks outside, straps on this jetpack. She's got all that cigarette fumes inside of her. Anyway. We should talk about the apartment, because that's one of the first ones you did.
Alright.
Yeah. So you told me you based a lot of that on your grandmother's place.
It's true. It hasn't changed much since the 70s, so it was perfect. Also, I called up my mom, and I'm like, tell me some things that happened in the 70s, or some horrible decorating choices people made. She's like, well, a lot of lime green, horrible macrame flower baskets, and a certain kind of alcohol that they always use as candle holders. I forget what it was, but I looked at the picture, and that's sitting on the shelf there. The TV was based on my old TV from when I was a kid, because we always had foil on the end of it. I don't know, it's a subtle thing.
Rabbit ears.
Yeah, rabbit ears, because we didn't have cable. This is back in the old country, where I live now.
Back in the old country.
No, my family moved to the States, and I came back here. But anyway, that coffee table is also in my house right now. And the hideous orange pillow, my grandma has that couch, so...
Johnny Ivory's Jazz and Cabaret. It's on Bleecker and 7th Avenue. You up for some jazz, Joey?
You mean we finally get to listen to some real music?
Call it my special treat.
Lauren has to look up people the old-fashioned way. In Shiva and Legacy, they got to use the computer. Lauren has to use the phone book. In Legacy, when you use the computer to look up people, you instantly went right to the notebook. So it was kind of easy. And many people missed the old Shiva interface where you could type in search queries. So I brought that back. And what was cool is that I got to add little extra Easter eggs. If you look up me, you can look up Aaron Robinson, the artist. You can look up Chris Jones, the creator of the engine, and some others. You could look up Rabbi Stone. Try looking up Rabbi Stone from the Shiva. Abe got a kick out of doing that. So yeah, I like this interface. I'll probably keep it. Using the notebook was too easy.
I'm not ready for a nap. Yes, there is an entry for Russell Stone. There's no entry for that. There's no entry for that. Busy. I better go over there in person.
Hello?
Yes, hello?
What can I do for you?
I'm not sure.
Gewalt.
Then call back when you do. What was the point of that?
I don't know. His voice sounded kind of familiar, though. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
I love this song. This is one of my favorites in the game. The guy who did the music for the game, his name is Thomas Reagan. He's from Denmark. And he was so enthusiastic. I was really kind of blown away at how enthusiastic and how into the project he was. He just kept sending me track after track after track, and they're all brilliant. And he tried to keep them within period. He tried to keep them 70s-ish for the most part. I wasn't so concerned with keeping the era so vibrantly alive, but he did. He really wanted to keep it accurate. He wrote this theme music, which I loved. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then he realized he used a certain kind of drum sound, which wasn't available, which wasn't in use in the 70s. So he changed it, which just shows his amazing attention to detail and how professional he really is. He not only does all this composing work in his spare time, but he also has a day job. He also has a wife, and he also has a kid. I don't know how he does it all, but I'm glad he does it because his work is amazing.
I don't know much about pianos, but it seems nice enough. He seems to be enjoying himself, even though there's nobody here to listen to him. This one looks interesting. Courtesy of Jambalaya Records. Might be worth checking out. The only thing holding up that dress is fate. Pretty girl, though. I wonder who she is. The woman is blocking the piano player. I can't see his face. That's him, the Jasmine ghost from the promenade. Looks like we're on the right track. I can't just take this sheet music. That would be rude. It's his sheet music. He's barely looking at it. He must know the song by heart. I'm not here to relax. Hey, mister.
Yes?
Got a minute?
For a pretty thing like you, I got several.
Huh.
So what brings you here on such a sad night?
I just love music.
Well, how about that? I just happen to make music. It's a match made in heaven.
Watch out, ladies. Daryl is really like this in real life, and he is single. You know, I just love this so much. That's really all I have to say.
I'm Lauren. What's your name?
Pleasure is all mine, Lord. You can call me C.
C.
You got it, sister.
Is that C like the water?
That's C like the chord. It's the first chord I played, and you never forget your first.
Ain't that the truth? You know any other musicians?
I do run in those circles, yeah.
Any of them play here?
Sometimes we get major gigs here. But me, I'm what you call the dependable type. These fingers can go all night long.
Can they now?
Oh, geez, make him stop.
One thing that I tried to keep very subtle, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but that's what this commentary is for, is that Joey is very much in love with Lauren. And that's something he won't admit to himself, let alone to her. It's a feeling he can't act on, and it's very frustrating, especially in these little interchanges with Cecil Sharp here, where Lauren is very obviously attracted to Cecil, and Joey is aware of this, and he is obviously a little jealous. And it's an aspect of Joey's character that I really like, and I find very tragic, and so on. It's something that I planned from the beginning. In Legacy, whenever there was a line where Joey was discussing Lauren, I told Abe, when doing the voice, that you should try to put a little bit of heartbreak, a little bit of loss into the lines, and that does come across very subtly. And if you picked up on it, congratulations, and if not, well, now you know.
It's okay for me to talk to you like this.
I don't hear anybody else complaining.
Dull night, huh?
You could say that. But I think it just got a bit more interesting.
Is that right?
These lips don't lie.
What's the band in that photograph behind you?
That picture is old, sister.
It's not that old.
Old enough. Before my time is all.
Here is a mistake I made. I know this bit of dialogue sounds a little weird. It's very obviously recycled from some other bits of dialogue that Cecil says. And it's kind of blatant, and it kind of is ugly, but it had to be done. When I beta tested the game, the testers noted that you couldn't ask Cecil about the photograph. It was a natural thing to ask him. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So I added some dialogue where you can ask Cecil about the photograph and you can ask him for the photograph. And he actually gives you a much better explanation than he gives you in the actual game. Unfortunately, what I didn't do was take those lines, because this was towards the end of the whole programming process. I did not take those lines and copy them onto the voice acting script. So when Daryl sat down to read the lines, he didn't read those lines. He didn't record those lines. So when I started to import them, I realized, oh crap, I'm going to have to do some futzing, creative futzing, in order to get it to work. So that's what I did. So that is my mistake. It's one of the drawbacks in dealing with voice acting in games. It limits your flexibility in many respects. I made this mistake many times working on Blackwell Legacy, and I only made this mistake once working on Blackwell Unbound. Hopefully the next time around I'll have refined the process and I won't have to worry about it at all.
I'm looking for info about a musician.
Well, I'll try to help you out. Who is he?
I don't know his name. I think he's a sax player.
I know lots of sax players, sister.
Big guy, kind of chubby, has a beard.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
Do you have a copy of that photograph anywhere?
Nope, sorry.
Here is a mistake I made. I know this bit of dialogue sounds a little weird. It's very obviously recycled from some other bits of dialogue that Cecil says. And it's kind of blatant, and it kind of is ugly, but it had to be done. When I beta tested the game, the testers noted that you couldn't ask Cecil about the photograph. It was a natural thing to ask him. I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So I added some dialogue where you can ask Cecil about the photograph and you can ask him for the photograph. And he actually gives you a much better explanation than he gives you in the actual game. Unfortunately, what I didn't do was take those lines, because this was towards the end of the whole programming process. I did not take those lines and copy them onto the voice acting script. So when Daryl sat down to read the lines, he didn't read those lines. He didn't record those lines. So when I started to import them, I realized, oh crap, I'm going to have to do some creative futzing in order to get it to work. So that's what I did. So that is my mistake. It's one of the drawbacks in dealing with voice acting in games. It limits your flexibility in many respects. I made this mistake many times working on Blackwell Legacy, and I only made this mistake once working on Blackwell Unbound. Hopefully, the next time around, I'll have refined the process, and I won't have to worry about it at all.
See you around.
Anytime, sister.
Say cheese.
What do we have here? He's written something at the top of the sheet. Property of Cecil Sharp. Aw, how sweet. Maybe his mommy signed it for him.
Hey, C.
Hello there.
Is your name Cecil Sharp?
Now, who went and told you that?
Oh, you could say Little Bird told me.
Tweet, tweet.
Well, you won't go tell nobody, will you?
Lips are sealed. So, Cecil.
Oh, man. That hurts, sister. That really does.
Sorry. So, Cecil.
Oh, man. That hurts, sister. That really does.
Sorry. See you around.
Anytime, sister.
Lauren, it's Jack. Lauren, I know you're there. I'm your brother, for God's sake, talk to me.
Jambalaya Catering, Jambalaya Publishing, Jambalaya's Used Cars. I'll have to be more specific. There's no entry for that. Here we go. Jambalaya Records, 240 Essex Street. I'll jot that down. Busy. I better go over there in person.
Hello? Hello? Lauren, is that you? Sis?
Jesus.
Now why'd you go and do that?
Just back off, okay?
All right. This is me backing off.
Good. Looks like something is interfering with the signal again. Move away a bit, will you, Joey?
What, you want to watch TV now?
Just for a minute.
You can relax later, sweetheart. Let's finish up these cases first.
Yeah, you're right. Joey, come here.
Yes?
I'm still mad, you know.
Keep it up, doll. I might start to believe you.
Any thoughts on our sax-playing ghost?
No more than you, darling. He likes his music, that's for sure. I doubt we'll get anything useful from him.
What are your impressions of Cecil?
That guy, I don't like him. He's hiding something, that's obvious. All that charm and smiles is just a front, believe me.
That's it for now.
Yeah, we'll talk more later.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Erin Robinson is someone I name-dropped in Blackwell Legacy. If you go to the dorm hallway, one of the doors has her name on it. And I was familiar with her work. She did a game called Spooks, early 2006, and it had a very simple but visually interesting style, and I've seen her work improve, stuff she's posted, stuff she's shown me. And it was a very spontaneous decision to ask her to do this, actually. I knew I needed a simple style, but I wanted it to be interesting, and Erin had the time off because she was a college kid and was off for the summer, and I knew she was a fan of my stuff, and we were kind of buddies at that point. We were MSN buddies at that point, and I figured she might be interested if I, could throw some money her way. And she was really interested, and she really took the bull by the horns and did a fantastic job. Her work really improved over the course of the project. She showed me her reference materials, all the stuff she did. She just put in so much work, went above and beyond anything I could have expected. She was really awesome, and the field of 2D game design is mourning because the girl is going into neuroscience, which I think is crazy. Exercise that left brain, Erin. Anyway, that's Erin Robinson. She did an awesome, awesome job. And you'll hear more from her in the bonus section. If you unlock the bonus at the end of the game, you can hear her thoughts about the game-making process.
Good evening.
Good evening to you. I'm Dwayne.
Lauren Blackwell. I was hoping you could help me.
I'll do my best. What can I do for you?
So what is this place?
This is a music agency. We manage bands, do promotions, things like that, you know. Well, by we, I really mean me.
You do this all by yourself?
Yep, one-man operation, that's me.
What sort of music do you manage?
Mostly jazz and reggae. Nobody famous. Most small-timers have trouble getting their foot in the door, getting gigs in small clubs, helping with recording sessions, you know. The basic stuff that musicians don't want to deal with.
You're open late.
Really? Yeah, I suppose I am. I learned to work musician hours, you know. You play a gig at night and have a problem, you want someone to call?
Your clients have lots of problems, do they?
Don't get me started.
I'm looking for a sax player.
Well, I can definitely help you there. You looking for a stand-in or something more long-term?
Oh, no, sorry. I'm not with a band. I'm looking for a specific sax player.
Well, if he's a client of mine, I can help you. What's his name?
That's the problem. I don't know. But he's in a photograph that your company took.
Really? Can I see it?
Sure, I've got a copy right here.
Great. Let me see.
Does the name Cecil Sharp ring any bells?
You know, that name does sound familiar. But, I'm so awful with names, you know? Is he part of a band?
Maybe. He plays piano at Johnny Ivory's.
I deal with them all the time. But that's not where I heard the name. This is going to bug me all night.
Thanks for the help. I might be back later.
No problem.
Do you know this band?
Oh yeah, I remember those guys. The C Sharps.
That was the band's name?
Yeah, I used to manage them.
You used to manage them, but not anymore?
Nah, been about 8-10 years. Time flies, you know.
Playing the role of Dwayne is Francisco Gonzalez, also known as Grendislav on the various internet forums. He is now a Wadjadai veteran. He's been in every single game so far, and one of the only few actors who I will accept voice recordings from over the internet. Originally, when I was writing the dialogue from this character, I found myself channeling Woody Allen in Broadway Danny Rose, this very kind of nervous, stammery, but very slick concert promoter, entertainment promoter. So I told Francisco to read it like Woody Allen, and it just really wasn't happening. He really had a lot of trouble reading it that way. And so in the end, we just went with the Jamaican accent, and it worked out pretty well.
Say cheese. Cecil Sharp, the C Sharps.
Cute, real cute.
Hi again.
Hi yourself. Again.
Was Cecil Sharp in the band the C Sharps?
Cecil Sharp. C Sharps. Yes! I knew I heard the name from somewhere.
So do you remember him now?
Oh, yeah, he was the band leader. A genius on the piano.
So Cecil Sharp was in the band the C Sharps.
Yeah, that was definitely him.
Thanks for the help. I might be back later.
No problem.
And I guess the next one you did was the piano bar.
Yep. Let me open that up now so I remember what the hell I did.
Because that was the first one I opened up, and I thought, wow, that was really cool.
Oh, thanks.
Just the light, the shading, I thought was really nice. It felt nice and kind of, what's the word? I don't want to say homey, but it felt like plush. I don't know.
Cool, yeah. I wanted to look like someplace kind of classy from a distance, but if you got up close, you'd realize it was all kind of tacky and velvet. I'm not sure if that came across, but that was my idea going in.
So what is your idea of tacky?
I was gonna have more Tiffany lamps, but I got lazy. I mean, they didn't fit the composition.
No, that's yeah, very good.
Yeah, I almost didn't want to draw chairs, so I'm like, no, people will notice if there aren't chairs, so I threw some of those in too. I like on the wall there's a poster that kind of says Johnny Ivory's, and it's a little music note sitting in a martini glass, like a cherry. I was part of that.
That is cute, yeah. And you can't, it's very subtle because you can't see the words Johnny Ivory's completely.
Well, these people have puzzle-solving brains, I'm sure that they can put that together.
Yeah. So I don't think
I
it's
just
an
need you to
issue.
animate Cecil, like, mixing up a martini and handing it to Lauren.
Then both getting drunk.
Oh my.
We won't go there.
Director's
no.
cut. And Joey's just gonna watch. Sorry.
It is very disturbing.
Incidentally, a lot of those bottles appear in my own personal bar. There's some watermelon-flavored vodka there.
Oh, I see. Is that your inspiration juice?
Whatever you want to call it.
Hey, C.
Hello there.
What can you tell me about your old band, the C Sharps?
C Sharps. Can't help you there. Never heard of them.
Now, I know that's a lie. I spoke to your old manager. He confirmed who you are.
You spoke to Dwayne?
Yes, I did.
That. Fine. You got me. Yes, I used to run a band called the C Sharps. It was a rotten time in my life, and I'd just as soon forget it. Why are you stirring up these old ashes, huh?
I have my reasons.
Yeah, sure you do.
About that sax player.
Yeah.
He's in that photo behind you. So I know he's with the C-sharps and that you know him.
What is this? You from that damn magazine?
Magazine?
The New Yorker. You a reporter?
No. So who is he?
You just don't quit, do you? You want to know so badly? His name is Isaac Brown.
Isaac Brown?
Yes. You happy now?
Ecstatic.
Great.
One thing I tend to do when writing dialogue and trying to find the right words, especially for really intense emotional bits like this, is I try to put myself in that frame of mind. Here, Lauren is very pissed off and kind of indignant and very moody, and I tend to like scrunch up my face and kind of move my hands in weird gestures and position my body to try to like feel that way. And I don't know if you know this, but I usually work in coffee shops here in the East Village. So I got some very interesting looks when writing this dialogue. I have a very interesting reputation in the East Village coffee shop scene in New York. Ask anybody. I'm the weird one.
What can you tell me about Isaac Brown?
Him? He's a bum, a drunk, a nobody, a lowlife. He's also dead.
And how did he die?
Someone strangled him to death with his bare hands. Isaac must have squealed like a pig.
You don't seem very upset by this.
No, but last time someone asked about Isaac, it was some reporter from The New Yorker. He came along, asked his questions, then bam, Isaac's dead.
Really?
Yeah, so forgive me if I don't take kindly to pushy questions.
Who was the reporter?
I don't know, Mitchell something? Slow talker, drove me crazy.
You think he killed Isaac?
I just played the piano. I don't think anything, especially not the past. Whoever did Isaac, the son of a bitch had it coming. So please, just get out of here.
See you later.
Yeah.
There isn't a listing.
Dead people usually aren't listed in the phone book, dear. Just the obituary.
Yep, there's a listing for the New Yorker. Their main office is in Midtown.
Thank you for calling the New Yorker. How can I help you?
Hello, yes. I'm trying to reach a reporter named Mitchell.
Let's see now. Mitchell. We have a Joseph Mitchell on staff. Is that him?
I guess it's worth a try. Is he in?
Yes, he is. Hold, please.
Voice of the New Yorker receptionist. His name is Brandon Van Slyke. He's a close friend of mine here in the city. It's an old joke of voiceovers and games, how you give the voice roles to friends and family, and I was guilty of that here. I figured I wasn't going to waste a little role like this on a professional actor, so Brandon was over one day, and I said, hey, you want to do this? And he said, sure. So he sat down and did it. So that was Brandon.
He's not answering. Maybe I should go up there in person. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Now, Mitchell's office is pretty simple. I really dig the chairs in this office.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, they look soft. I'm happy with that.
They look shiny.
Mm-hmm.
I love the shininess of these chairs.
Yeah.
I feel like they sound like they'll squeak when you sit on them.
Maybe you should get a sound effect for that. Mitchell's chair is actually really like fancy at the back, but he's sitting in it, so of course you can't see, and I'm not drawing him getting up, so I guess it'll remain a mystery to our viewers.
Ah, yes. Oh, well.
Oh, I forgot.
Well, that's what this commentary is for, isn't it?
Yeah. I was gonna have it maybe so that he could like open the blinds, because the view at the window is pretty cool, but oh well. It's implied.
C'est la vie.
C'est la vie, yeah. I like the way those newspaper clippings on the left turn out. I wasn't sure how to do that, it's hard to do detailed things in pixels, especially when they're so tiny, so it's been part of the process.
Well, let's do the whole thing over in high res.
Yeah, let's do that.
No, we won't.
We'll renegotiate my contract, shall we?
Oh, yes, let's do that.
Yes? Can I help you?
Are you Mr. Mitchell?
I sure am.
I'm Lauren Blackwell.
Well, do come in, Miss Blackwell.
For those of you who are fans of Gabriel Knight, if you played the second one, you'll know that the mystery of the game surrounds the last king of Bavaria, Ludwig. And when I first heard about Joseph Mitchell, I thought to myself, I found my Ludwig. I found this really bizarre, real-life story that I could build a conspiracy on and build a mystery on. Joseph Mitchell was such an interesting guy. He wrote these character pieces on just everyday people he met in bars, people he met on the street, drug users, drunks, eccentrics, homeless, mentally unstable people. He wrote these character pieces for 30 years for The New Yorker and for other publications, but he worked for The New Yorker for 30 years, and then he wrote one final thing called Joe Gould's Secret. It's a book you can buy, and then he never wrote again. For 30 more years, he came to work every day, went to his office, and never wrote again. And when I heard about this, I was fascinated. I just kept thinking about why on earth he would have done this. So this is my take on what happened.
Your name has come up in a case I'm working on.
A case? What is this regarding? Are you a reporter or...
No, an independent investigator.
I see, so you're not with the police.
Would it matter if I was?
No, it wouldn't. So what can I do for you, Miss Blackwell?
I've given myself roles in my previous games. In Shiva, I played the Cantor, and in Blackwell Legacy, I played the Evil Demon, which was a lot of fun. But this is probably the longest role, the largest role I've ever given myself. And I gave it to myself not purely for egotistical reasons, although there is a bit of that, because I really respect and really like Mitchell and his writing and stuff. But because I really respect him, I wanted to make sure that I was faithful to him, and the words that I put into his mouth were words that he would probably say, or things that he would probably do, and so on. And the problem with voice acting is that everything is set in stone once you get the actor in. And with Mitchell, I wanted to keep it flexible. I wanted to be able to change stuff at the 11th hour. If I suddenly realize, hey, wait a minute, Mitchell wouldn't say this, or this sounds better, or, this is more Mitchell-like, that I could just pop on the microphone and change it myself quickly, rather than having to lug an actor back, which is always a pain in the neck to do. So that's why I gave myself the role of Mitchell.
So how long have you been working here?
Do you always ask such personal questions?
I'm just curious about the sort of work you do.
I write about people, Miss Blackwell.
What sort of people?
Not the famous sort. Just ordinary people, like you or me.
Ordinary people. Like me.
You find that amusing?
Oh, not at all. So tell me about yourself, Mr. Mitchell.
I beg your pardon.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes, I heard you. I hope you didn't come here simply to interview me. I'm afraid I'd make a poor interview subject.
I'd like to talk about Isaac Brown.
Ah, Isaac. You knew Isaac?
Sort of, yes. I'm looking into his death.
Really? That was almost 5 years ago. Why the sudden interest?
Let's just say that I have a personal interest in clearing it up.
Some biographical details that you guys might be interested in. Joseph Mitchell was known for speaking very slowly and hesitantly, and had a tendency to stumble over his words. It was said about him that it was a good thing he did not write the way he spoke. And I obviously didn't speak that way, because it wouldn't have been a very interesting listening experience for you guys. So I gave a little bit of creative license there. Hope I can be forgiven.
Anything else you can tell me about Isaac? Why do you want to write about him?
I don't want to go too in depth. Out of respect, you understand?
Sure.
I was drawn to him for the same reasons I'm drawn to anybody I write about. I felt he had a story that could reach people, enrich them, perhaps learn from.
Really?
Miss Blackwell, spend some time talking to the poor and the downtrodden. Walk down the Bowery and speak to the half-wits and the have-nots. In 1 hour, you'll learn more from them than you would from a lifetime of schooling.
So what was Isaac's story? I know he played in a band called the C Sharps. Then something obviously went wrong. What was it?
Listen, have you tried asking Mr. Sharp?
Yes, he's not talking.
I don't blame him. He's probably feeling guilty.
Guilty? Why?
He has his reasons.
Could you, I don't know, tell me what those reasons are?
I can't do that.
Of course he can't.
Mr. Mitchell, I need to know what happened.
Listen, I don't like this. I don't feel comfortable talking about people without their consent. I won't say any more about Isaac or his sister.
Sister?
Sister?
Please, I'm not gonna say anymore.
Who was Isaac's sister?
I told you, not another word.
Who was Isaac's sister?
I told you, not another word.
I'd like to read your piece about Isaac.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help you there. I never published it.
You didn't?
No, it seemed a bit in bad taste.
Since when do reporters care about bad taste?
Since when do reporters care about bad taste?
You don't have a high opinion of journalists, do you?
Well, you hear things.
Oh no, don't worry about it. I'm well aware of the stereotype. I've written about deceased persons before when I felt it was in the public's interest. But Isaac, well, I felt the man deserved some peace.
If you felt his story could reach people, enrich them, as you say, why didn't you publish the story?
Listen, Miss Blackwell. Isaac didn't just die. He was murdered. Someone reached around his neck and strangled the life right out of him. That puts a bit of a damper on the story I wanted to tell.
So nobody will hear the story.
All my notes on him have been destroyed. Isaac's story might not have reached the people, but it reached me. Maybe that's enough.
I think that's all for now.
All right. You have a good night now.
Cecil,
What?
I need to speak to you about Isaac's sister.
That's it! You've crossed the line, sister. It was fun for a while, but now it's time for you to leave.
Ooh, now you've done it.
What are you gonna do, throw me out?
Oh, is that a challenge? Don't tempt me, lady. Leave.
Okay, this is me leaving you alone.
You really have a way with the fellas, kid. Don't sweat it. His bark is worse than his bite.
Oh, look, it's Miss Wonderful.
You up for talking like a civilized human being? I really need to know about Isaac's sister. It's very important.
Yeah, well, we all have problems. And my problem is you. So leave.
I'll leave, but I'll be back.
Well, that certainly worked wonders. We'll have to change our tactics if we want to get him to talk. I know that expression. Only time a man gets a look like that is when he's hung up over a woman. Go easy on him, huh? I think he cares more about that gal than he lets on.
Look what the cat dragged in.
That's me. I'm like a bad penny. You want to forget the past, you say?
Yeah,
Then what's with the picture behind you? If you wanted to forget the past, why'd you keep the picture?
I have my reasons. Leave it alone. Just leave me alone.
I'll leave, but I'll be back.
Ever think of moonlighting in PR? You're so good at talking to people. Seriously, whatever you're doing, you can't handle it this way.
You just don't give up, do you?
We need to talk. You loved her, didn't you?
Of course I loved her. She was our heart and soul. I would have... Damn you, woman. Damn you. I just want to play this piano and forget she ever existed. Why don't you just leave me alone?
So what happened, C? It's very important that you tell me.
All right. I don't know who you are or why you're so interested, but you're never going to leave me alone, are you?
No, I won't. You were in a band together, right?
Yeah, we had a band. Smart girl. Then she died. Then he died. End of story.
How did you meet Isaac's sister?
First of all, her name was Sarah. I was looking to start a band, and I saw them perform together. She could sing like it was magic. Such energy, such life, such a waste.
What happened to Sarah?
She got sick, pneumonia or something. Started coughing one day and wouldn't stop. She got better after a while, but something happened to her voice. Doctor said she would never sing again. After that, the spark just went out. She hung on for a few months, but she just lost the will to live.
Anything else you can tell me about Sarah?
I loved that woman. Even when she lost her voice, I would have given up everything for her. Heck, I would have even let her brother live with us. I should have told her.
About Sarah.
I told you everything. Please, just stop.
What was Isaac really like?
That fat bastard. He was good on the sax, but that was the end of his good points. He drank, he was violent, he was useless in every other way. But Sarah could calm him down. She was the only one. If it wasn't for Sarah, I never would have kept him around.
What happened to Isaac after Sarah died?
He went to pieces. What do you think? Oh, he couldn't cope. Drank way too much. Started fights during gigs. I tried to stick with him out of respect for Sarah, but let's face it, he was a big, dumb embarrassment.
About that reporter.
I know nothing else about that man. Southern guy. Talked real slow. Asked a bunch of questions. Just leave it, okay?
About Sarah.
I told you everything. Please, just stop.
So you cut ties with Isaac?
Completely. Told him he was a drunk and a lowlife and wasn't worth the peanuts I paid him. Which was, let's face it, totally true.
What happened?
He beat me senseless is what happened. Knocked me out with the sax I bought for him. Then he became a bum. Spent the rest of his life living on the streets of Roosevelt Island, till he got killed by some drifter.
You don't know who killed Isaac?
Yes, I killed him.
Oh, come on.
No, I did. I'm not the one who put my hands around his neck or choked him to death, but I killed him just the same.
You shouldn't be so hard on yourself.
I know that. My brain knows that. But my heart won't listen.
Can you tell me anything else about Isaac?
No, I've told you everything.
About Sarah.
I told you everything. Please, just stop.
See you later.
Yeah. You know, all this talk reminds me of something. Sarah and Isaac would always play this song.
Really?
Yeah, a duet. At the end of every show.
She'd sing and he'd play the saxophone?
No, she'd actually play the piano, if you can believe it. She wasn't great, but she loved playing with Isaac. And Isaac loved that silly song. They never let me join them, but that was okay. It was kind of sweet, in a way. Oh well.
Cecil?
What?
What was the duet that Isaac and Sarah used to play?
Oh, that. It was just a short little thing. Isaac would just improv the whole thing. But Sarah's was always the same. Went something like... After Sarah died, Isaac would play gigs, but refused to leave the stage. He'd blow on his sax, playing anything that came to mind. Feet planted like a statue.
He'd just keep playing?
He'd play forever if I didn't get 4 guys to drag him off. I think he was waiting for Sarah to play with him. He was supposed to finish each show with her and, well, in his heart he refused to believe she was dead.
Could you play that song again?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I think I've recorded enough.
Oh boy, we've got company.
Can you see?
Pardon?
Can't you see?
See what, lady?
The whole of the world. Connections, patterns, pulsing with life everywhere.
Oh great, one of New York's finest crazies. Do something about this old bat, will ya?
Stephanie Cox Williams, the actress playing the Countess, I first met her through Abe Goldfarb, the guy playing Joey. She was stage managing for a show that Abe was directing. That's the funny thing about the acting scene in New York. Everyone does everything. If you meet an actor, more than likely if they've done directing, or they've done lights, they've done stage direction, stage managing. And sure enough, Stephanie was an actress. And I chatted with her after the show. There was an after party, and she mentioned how she did the voice of an old lady for something, and I'm like, hey, I got a role for you. And lo and behold, she came over to the role. So she was awesome.
Look, I'm a bit busy right now. I don't have time for this.
Fool! Liar! Can't you see? Useless. Useless!
Wow.
I know.
Only in New York.
How am I supposed to do that? He's a ghost. I'm not.
Originally, this puzzle was a little bit different. The idea was you were to get the name of the song from Cecil, and then you would go to Jambalaya Records, look at the poster on the wall to get the radio station of get the name of a jazz radio station. You'd go to your radio. You'd turn to that jazz radio station. You would get the number of a song request line. You'd call up that number, and you would give him the name of the song. You'd bring the radio to Isaac, and then you'd play the song, and you'd solve the puzzle that way. This I thought was stupid. After a while, I realized it was a stupid idea, so I got rid of it and decided to use the dictaphone instead.
Hi. Sis? Is that you, sis? I've been waiting for so long.
No, Isaac, I'm not your sister. She couldn't come.
No. No, she couldn't, could she? My sister's dead, isn't she?
Yeah.
Now I'm dead, too.
Yeah.
I knew that. Deep down, I knew that. I just couldn't let go.
I'm sorry.
Is that why you two are here? To help me let go?
That's what we do best.
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do.
Don't worry. Just leave everything to us.
One thing I hate to do, and I guess this commentary kind of defeats the purpose, but I hate tooting my own horn and sounding all narcissistic, but I do have to say, I love the story of Isaac and his sister. I love this story. I find it very sweet and bittersweet and kind of sad and everything. And this is what I love about ghost stories in general. This is why I write ghost story games. Good ghost stories are always really sad. They're always really bittersweet because they always involve death usually, and because of that, they always involve pain, loss, regret, something left undone, and also involves a second chance in some way, like a way to reconnect with someone you've lost or something. There's always some nice raw human emotion in a good ghost story, and I think that the story of Isaac and his sister captures that really well, or at least makes a good-hearted attempt. And again, I don't want to be all narcissistic and egocentric, so I have to negate all that by saying that this game sucks. You should be doing something else. There we go. That erased all the narcissism.
Here, just take this.
Whatever you say.
Hold on tight. This is the fun part.
So let's talk about node space. This was really cool.
Thank you. It was one of the more fun ones to design. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but I thought the node space in the other game was good, but kind of boring for what it should have been. I wanted Lauren's walkway to be a bit more wacky and weird, and because Rosa, I think, is a very straight-laced character, so it makes sense that her pathway is very, like, neat cobblestones, but I don't know, Lauren's ended up looking a bit more like marshmallow bits, which wasn't quite my intention, but it's kind of spirals off into infinity and, kind of raises some questions. The path is also supposed to look like it breaks out more as you get away from the door, so.
Yeah, I like that. It reminded me of that, you said marshmallow bits, so some kind of like chalky, multicolored candy.
They're called rockets.
Yes.
I think you guys call them Smarties.
Hi, Isaac.
Hey, this is it, huh?
Yep, eternity, the white light, the passage into the next world.
It is something, alright. I still can't believe I'm dead. Crazy old lady, she killed me.
Old lady?
Yeah, said she wanted to help me. Then goes and chokes me. Why'd she want to go and do a thing like that?
I'm sorry, I wish I knew.
I don't think it matters anyway. It's time I joined my sis.
Just head into the light.
Thanks, lady. You've been real kind. Tell your friend sorry for the crack on the head.
Right. Another day, another spirit gone to their rest. Rest. Well, that's a nice word. Joey?
Yeah, hi. Glad you're up.
Did you save him?
Yeah, sure, we saved him.
Joey, is she talking to you?
Yeah, go figure.
Thank you, both of you. I only wanted to save them.
Isaac told me he was killed by an old woman. Was that you?
I save, just like you.
Who are you?
I am the Countess.
Countess? Countess of what?
It's the only name I know. I saved them. I helped them. I'm sorry.
Hey, get back here. Don't just stand there, let's get after her.
She's pretty spry for an old lady.
Spry my foot. You couldn't outrun a one-legged turtle with those lungs.
Yes, I admit, this is very obviously a cop-out. If, I had the liberty of a budget and a full-time professional art team, I would have loved to include some kind of chase sequence where you chase the Countess and blah blah blah. But, I'm on a budget here. This is how it had to be.
Don't start with me, okay? Nobody that old should move that fast.
Just keep telling yourself that.
Joey, she could see you. How could she do that?
I don't know. But I think this case just got a hell of a lot more complicated.
Fantastic. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Well, this is it.
Yep. All's quiet so far.
Construction, I guess, site out is what you called it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was one of the later ones you did, I guess, post-Europe,
Yes,
you could call it.
You know, I must have just been so inspired by Europe because I actually used 2-point perspective for that one.
Swanky.
Yeah, I know. I didn't even know I could do 2-point perspective, but, you know, Kevin's an artist, so I just asked him.
What is 2-point perspective? Yeah, I'm artistically dead.
Oh, okay. You've got, instead of the normal 1 vanishing point where the lines go, you've got 2 vanishing points. One of them is, like, off the right side of the screen, and one of them's towards the end of that road on the left.
I see. Cool.
Yeah.
So did you use any reference pictures of New York? Actually, I sent you a reference picture of New York.
Yeah, you did. It wasn't quite this perspective, though. It was, like, from a distance, so it was just a long, flat wall. And the post-no bills thing was kind of an afterthought, but I thought it'd be kind of neat.
Yeah, that was kind of neat. Yeah, and you had, remember you didn't actually have a door at first.
Yeah. I got lazy, and you're like, put in a door. I'm like, oh, fine. Joey can go through walls, but I have to put in a door. That's fine.
I'm such a slave driver, I know.
True.
A thick wooden wall enclosing the construction site. Closed, locked, and barred. I'm not getting in this way. This barrier is blocking traffic. At least we won't be disturbed by passing cars. Not many lights on at this hour. Not many lights on at this hour.
That looks like a construction site over there. Nobody's getting in this way. Nobody living, anyway. All right, I'm going in to check it out. Stay close to the wall.
Yeah, sure. Let me know what you find.
I really like the fact that you can control Joey in this game. One of the common criticisms of Blackwell Legacy was that Joey didn't do anything useful. He just kind of tagged along, made some comments, and if he ever actually did anything, it wasn't anything that the player could control. It just kind of happened. And that's something I definitely wanted to change with the follow-up games. I wanted the player to be able to control Joey. I wanted the player to be Joey, wander around, look at objects, talk to Lauren. Joey has access to her notebook. He can make comments on things. He'll give the player feedback. He actually is integral to solving a few puzzles. And there's one area that only Joey can enter. I really wanted to make him useful. I wanted him to be an equal partner in this relationship, not just a sidekick. So this is something you're going to be seeing in the future games. Now, I want to talk, let's see, we'll go to the construction site, the site inn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like this, I saw this, I was really impressed because it really looked like you put a lot of detail into all the dirt.
The dirt was difficult. I had no idea how to draw dirt, so I just sat down with some reference pictures and went to town, I guess. I had to look up, like, the kind of tracks that caterpillars make and how to draw a bull, or what are they called? Backhoe, and yeah.
Because I know when I was playing around with the layers in Photoshop, I would remove one layer and like certain bits of dirt would disappear. So you really layered them on top of each other, which looked like it took a long time.
That's more of a reflection of my own disorganization than it is an artistic choice. But anyways, thank you.
Hello? Anyone here? Ah.
Well, what do you see? Is it clean?
I'm afraid not.
Well, hurry up then. I feel stupid pressed up against this wall.
When designing this game, the whole section with Isaac fell into place really quickly, really easily. This section took a little longer. I knew I wanted to have something take place at a construction site. I was walking home one night, really late at night, like 3 o'clock in the morning, here in New York. It's not something I'd recommend. But I passed a construction site, and the construction site at night, abandoned, just this, half a foundation in the ground. There was a bulldozer, just something about that just really struck me as being kind of spooky and weird. And it was this weird thing in my head, and the whole thing kind of fell into place from there.
Hey there!
Huh? Could someone be there? Of course not. No one would be so rude as to enter without knocking.
Hey, lady! I'm talking to you!
No, the door is closed. Nobody is there. Only way in is if I open the door. And to do that, he'd have to knock.
Knock knock?
What? Nobody is there. The door is still closed and bolted.
I said, hey there!
No. Nobody there. Door is locked and barred. Nobody could get in.
Just look at me, why don't you? I know you can see me.
No. Visitors must knock or ring the bell. That's the way it's done.
I'll be back. Friggin' spooks.
They have no right. No right.
Hello out there.
Joey, what are you doing in there?
How's it going on the outside?
Oh, it's a thrill a minute out here, like a day at the circus.
I need you to do something.
What?
Do a little dance.
What? Why?
I'll explain later, just do it.
Okay. What did that accomplish?
I can't believe you just did that.
I hate you so much.
My home.
Hello out there.
Joey, what are you doing in there?
Miss me?
Yeah, sure. Like I miss toe fungus.
I need you to do something.
It better be good.
Hop on one leg.
I don't think so.
Aw, come on. For me?
Forget it.
Hello out there.
Joey, what are you doing in there?
I need you to do something.
It better be good.
Spin around in a circle.
I don't think so.
Aw, come on. For me?
Forget it.
Did I leave the gas on?
Hello out there.
Joey, what are you doing in there?
I need you to do something.
It better be good.
Knock on the gate door.
Knock on the door? Why?
I'll explain later, just do it.
A knock? Oh my, a visitor. Just a minute. Is my hair okay? It'll have to do. Hello?
You'll notice that through most of the commentary, I talk about actors and acting and the feedback I got from actors and how they might have changed something or blah blah blah, added lines, removed lines. I like to get feedback from actors because they generally have a better instinct for what sounds right for their particular character than I do. And this isn't a total dig on me and my writing ability. You ask any director or playwright, the actors are always making suggestions, and any good director, any good playwright will accept them, or at least take them seriously, and I always take them seriously. And one great example is this character. I originally wrote this character as this very kind of mousy, scared woman living, thinks she's like huddled up in her apartment, and originally I had Shen play her that way, and then at one point, she kind of stood straight in her chair and delivered a line, and had this aura of haughtiness, this snottiness come through. And I thought, you know what? That is absolutely perfect. Read it like that. And we redid all of her lines like that. And it worked out really well because we did her lines before we did Joey's lines. So we could have Joey reply to that haughtiness, and it worked really well. It really redefined the entire character just in the performance. So if you ever wonder whether voice acting makes a difference, here's a good example.
Hello, miss.
Hello? Can I help you?
I'm Joey Mallone, miss.
Well, Mr. Malone, to what do I owe the pleasure?
What's your name?
Excuse me?
Your name?
My name is on the door. If you don't know who I am, then why are you here?
I'm a bit lost. Can you tell me where I am?
Sorry, I'm not sure what you mean. Are you looking for a specific apartment or...
Apartment? You mean we're inside a building?
Yes? Are you feeling alright, mister?
You're not in a building, lady. Take a look around.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're on the 3rd floor. Look, there's the elevator down the hall.
Ah, right. Yeah, I see it. Are you sure you're feeling all right? I have something to tell you.
Oh?
There's no delicate way to put this. You're dead.
Pardon me?
Dead and buried. You're a ghost haunting a wasteland.
You're unbalanced. Tell me what you want before I call the police.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you?
I live next door.
You do? Which room?
4E?
No, you don't. You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you all before, I am not leaving. The only way you can drag me out of here is as a corpse. Goodbye. They want to fight? I'll give them one.
Did I leave the gas on?
The foreman's office, you kind of took that and you added a whole bunch of extra stuff to it.
More
Which I thought
crap
was
on the
cool.
desk. That's my signature move. I threw in the vintage picture of Farrah Fawcett from that famous poster on the calendar there. You can hardly tell,
Yeah.
but it's probably the most pixelated she's ever been.
We'll get the diehard Farrah Fawcett fans to call in and be all excited.
Yeah, it's a
Maybe
little
we'll
something
get
for them. They don't get enough these days.
Get some calls from Farrah Fawcett's lawyers. Who knows?
That'd be pretty funny. On the desk, there's some blueprints sitting there. They're actually the blueprints from the foreground of Nanobots, if I ever get around to finishing that game. I kind of flipped them around, and you can hardly tell that there's a little robot on there, but he's there, and now you know.
Just a bunch of drawers. Cheap material. I want nothing to do with it. Just a fan. Can't do anything with that. Even if I wanted to stick my head inside, which I don't, it would be too dark to see anything. Don't know what I could do with it. It says Seagram Realty. I guess they're the guys who own this construction outfit. I can't take the sign. The name under the picture is Farrah Fawcett. I wonder if she likes dead guys.
In playing this game, I just had a worrying thought, and I went on to Wikipedia and looked up Charlie's Angels, and I discovered that Charlie's Angels did not go on the air until 1976, which means that that picture of Farrah Fawcett probably was taken a little bit later. So, oops. I'll just say that that calendar can time travel and be done with it. It's a one inconsistency I think I can live with.
I can't make heads or tails out of this thing. Can't do anything with that. There's not much I can do with that except look at it. Let's take a look-see. This lady is upset because she's been stiffed $5 a month. My guess is that she's not too happy with the foreman. Hey, kid! Knock on the gate again.
Another visitor. You again.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you?
I'm with the gas company. I was sent to check your apartment for leaks.
Didn't you come this morning? Yes, you did. You found nothing and you charged me a fortune.
That must have been someone else.
You're not fooling me. You're one of them, aren't you?
One of them? Who is them?
I told you all before, I am not leaving. The only way you can drag me out of here is as a corpse. Goodbye, my home.
So, is it all taken care of?
Not yet, dear.
Slacker. Joey, come here.
Yes?
I really need to get a bigger place.
You think so? I find this place quite cozy.
So do I. That's the problem. Any thoughts on our construction site ghost?
Her? She's not bad looking in a motherly kind of way.
Any thoughts on how to save her?
Nothing springs to mind.
That old woman, how could she see you?
I don't know. Only folks that can see me are animals and other ghosts. And I don't think she's either.
I don't know, Joey. She reminds me of something.
Pardon?
I can't explain it.
Well, if you see her again, you can ask her.
Joseph Mitchell certainly is interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Did you notice his typewriter?
No, what about it?
There was dust on it, and the paper was blank. That thing hasn't seen much use in a long time.
Maybe he uses a pen and paper.
Maybe.
That's it for now.
Yeah, we'll talk more later.
Got her. There's a phone number but no address.
Hello?
Is this Harriet Sherman?
Who is this?
My name is Lauren Blackwell.
What do you want?
I could really use your help.
Help? Why should I help you? Why should I help anybody? Nobody's ever done me any favors. Goodbye. Don't call back. Hello?
It's me again.
You? I thought I told you not to call.
Yeah, I know. Please, just listen. I was hoping I could help you.
What? You selling something?
No,
I've told you 1,000,000 times. No. I don't need any insurance.
I'm not...
Gotta go. My stories are on. Don't call back.
No, wait.
Hello?
It's me again.
You? I thought I told you not to call.
Yeah, I know. Please, just listen. Could I ask you a couple of questions?
What is this? A survey?
No.
Well, no. You can't ask me a couple of questions. I'm busy.
Listen,
Goodbye! Don't call back! Hello?
It's me again.
You? I thought I told you not to call.
Yeah, I know. Please, just listen. I'm calling from Seagram Realty.
Oh, why didn't you say? You've got my $60.
Yes, I do. But before I give it to you, I have to ask you a couple of questions.
Fine. Come on by and I'll answer whatever you want. 24 Rector, down in Battery Park City. Just buzz up.
So, Joey,
Yeah?
got any spare cash on you?
Sorry, left my wallet in my other pants. Probably the pair I was buried in.
There he is, the family legacy. Look at that smiling face. Keep being happy, Jacko. You deserve it. You just gotta stay the heck away from me. Sorry you had to go through that, Mom. I guess you weren't strong enough. Lauren, what are you doing with yourself? The things I'll do for a case. An old coat I picked up at the thrift store. My boots, good for rain and bad weather. I don't need to wear my coat, it's summer. It's summer and it hasn't rained for weeks. I don't need to wear my boots. I've already got a pack. Should last me till the end of the day. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
And you're still working on this background right now, the Harriet's Kitchen.
Oh yeah.
So I haven't actually seen this one yet.
Nope. Basically, it's based on my other grandma's kitchen, which is very pastel and full of old lady kitsch. Like, my grandma doesn't have a dog, but there's going to be a little dog in a basket sitting there, and probably a Pekingese, because they're old lady dogs. I just googled old lady dog, and that was the first one that came up, so I figured that's what it should be.
I guess this will be a Blackwell tradition. It'll have to be a dog or a cat in every single game. All right.
As far as my artistic inspiration goes. Oh, I need a picture of a building. I'll just Google building.
What did we do before Google?
Yeah, I'm going to put a bunch of, like, little, I don't know, angel paraphernalia, and around the top of the room there's, like, some shell motif or something, you know. Old lady stuff.
Wow, that is really kitschy.
I know kitsch, my friend.
It's open! I'm back here in the kitchen!
Harriet?
Mrs. Sherman, if you don't mind. You from Seagram Realty?
Yes.
Have you got my money?
I wanted to ask you a few questions first.
You're welcome to ask me anything you'd like, after you give me the money. You got it?
I met Shelley Smith at just the right time. The role of Harriet was originally given to Ruth Weber, who did the voice of Nishanti and Rodshri in previous games. And she lives kind of far away, and she was really busy, stuff going on, wasn't able to come out here to do the lines, and admitted that to me. And I'm like, all right, fine, don't worry, I'll find somebody else. And so I had to go around finding somebody else. And then I saw a show that Abe was directing called The Magic of Mrs. Crowling. And I saw this woman, Shelley Smith, who played this middle-aged woman, just this crazy, very eccentric middle-aged woman, kind of a drug addict, go around smashing furniture. It was great. But after the show, there was an after party, and I started talking with her because I just loved her energy. And I just kind of on a whim said, could you do an old lady voice? And she's, yeah, sure, no problem, I can do that. So she gave me her card, I called her up, she came over, did the lines.
I sure do.
It's about time. Give it here.
Here you go.
It's all here, sure enough. I'd say thanks if I hadn't had to fight tooth and nail to get it.
What teeth, you old bat?
Don't worry about it.
Oh, I won't. Now, you wanted to ask me something?
I mentioned earlier how I discovered Shelley Smith, as it were, the woman who's playing Harriet here. Shelley kept making me laugh. It was probably the longest recording session ever because I just could not stop laughing. This woman has so much energy, and she is actually the first actor in general, who I had to set the audio level lower than Abe's. Abe has a really strong voice, as you can tell just listening to him. Shelley's voice is even stronger, and I had to lower her levels to a degree lower than Abe, which is a feat in itself.
So tell me about yourself.
Me? What do you want to know?
Your name came up during an investigation I'm working on.
Investigation? Don't you work for Seagram Realty?
Not exactly.
Ah, you just use them as a way to get to me, huh?
Yes. Is that a problem?
Oh, not at all. Just don't expect your money back.
She's all heart.
Do you know any reporters from the New Yorker magazine?
Reporters? No.
Do you know anything about a strange old woman wandering the streets?
Funny you mention that.
Really?
I once saw a strange old woman wandering the hallway back in the old building. I yelled at her to leave, and she did. I doubt that she was the one you're looking for, though. The world is full of strange old ladies, not unlike myself.
What can you tell me about the construction site on 53rd Street?
You've been there? How's the old place looking?
It's a big hole in the ground.
Ha! Can only be an improvement. I used to live there. Then Seagram Realty bought it and tore it down. Going to build something new and fancy, no doubt.
They kicked you out of your own home?
No big loss. The place was a dump. Plus, they wanted it so badly that they paid most of us a monthly stipend just to leave. Pretty generous, actually. I can almost forgive them for nearly robbing me.
So they paid you money to leave?
Yup. Like I said, it was a pretty generous deal. Building was about to be condemned anyway, so everyone was grateful for the offer. Well, everyone except for Mavis Wilcox.
Who is Mavis Wilcox?
A lunatic is what she was. She lived down the hall from me, so I know how crazy she was.
Why was she crazy?
She refused to leave is why. Seagram was offering her a fortune, but still she refused.
Why did Mavis refuse to leave?
She was a lunatic. I believe I already established this. A total shut-in. The prospect of leaving her little apartment terrified her. I'm old and feeble. If I could manage the move, she could have. Of course, it doesn't matter now.
Did they ever get Mavis to leave?
Oh, you could say that. Yes, you could definitely say that. She left all right. Left the entire world, in fact.
You mean she died?
Yes. Someone broke in and choked her to death. Right in the apartment she loved so much. I'd call it ironic if it weren't so tragic.
Did they ever find out who killed Mavis?
No. Some stray kid, most likely. Thought the building was empty and went in to steal whatever was left over. Didn't count on anyone being there. Bumped into Mavis, then had to kill her. Happens all the time.
How well did you know Mavis?
Like I said, I lived just down the hall from her, on the 3rd floor. I didn't know her well, but she did get some mail just before they smashed the place up. I took it, just in case a relative or something came looking. But it's been 6 months, and nothing.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
Just that she lived on the 3rd floor with me. There's nothing else.
Do you still have Mavis's things?
Yes, I do. Such as they are. There wasn't much, just that envelope on the counter.
Could I look at it?
You knew Mavis?
Sort of, yes.
Well, you might as well take a look at them. Nobody else has come looking.
Thanks. Goodbye, Mrs. Sherman.
Don't mention it.
There's not much in here, just a photograph and a letter.
That's her. That's the ghost at the construction site.
So our ghost's name is Mavis Wilcox.
I'd bet the farm on it.
This kid doesn't look too happy to be with Mavis. He's wearing a Columbia University sweatshirt.
That's her. Definitely the lady at the site.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Yes? Twice in one evening? Come on in, sit down.
Do you know anything about a strange old woman wandering the streets?
I've met plenty of strange old women, Miss Blackwell. Some stranger than others. Can you give me some more details?
She calls herself the Countess. Mr. Mitchell?
I'm thinking. No. I can safely say I've never set eyes on this woman. I'm sorry.
Did you know Mavis Wilcox?
Miss Wilcox? Yes, I remember her. Lived uptown a ways before she died.
How did you know her?
I wanted to write a piece about her, so I met her for a spell. Interesting woman. How did you know her?
I'm looking into her death.
I see.
So what can you tell me about Mavis? I get the impression she didn't get out much.
That's an understatement. I got in touch with her through a colleague who was covering that demolition. I wondered what made a woman like that tick, so I made an appointment to meet with her.
What was she like?
A very gracious woman. Brought me in, made me a cup of tea, showed me pictures of her family. All in all, it was a pleasant way to spend an afternoon.
What happened to her?
Killed, so they say. Was found choked to death in her own apartment.
Any thoughts on who did it?
Well, there were rumors that the labor union decided to take matters into their own hands, as it were, but I doubt that. The police ruled it was some squatter or drifter or something, and left it at that.
And what do you think?
Me? I have no theory.
Why did you want to write about her?
I found her fascinating. She was asked to leave. She was begged to leave. She was even offered lots of money to leave. But she kept refusing. She was too scared. I had to know why.
And what did you discover?
That, Miss Blackwell, is the eternal question. I've spoken to hundreds of people over the years. Most of them were odder than Mavis. It's impossible to decipher the whys and the hows. As time went on, I've contented myself just with the whats.
Anything else you can tell me about Mavis?
I'm afraid I've told you everything.
I'd like to read your piece about Mavis.
I'm afraid I no longer have it.
Do you know what issue it was in? I'd like to look it up.
I never published it. I was going to, but then Mavis died and it just seemed wrong somehow. I don't even have the rough copies anymore. I'm sorry.
I think that's all for now.
All right. You have a good night now.
I'm going in again. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'll wait here.
Where else can I go?
Hey, kid. Knock on the gate again.
My, I'm popular today. Oh, you again.
I'd like to ask you some questions.
Look, I've had enough. I'm not going to stand here and indulge in idle chit-chat. Who are you?
It's me, your son.
Sam?
Yep, that's me.
Sam! It's been so long. Look at you!
Yeah, look at me.
Sorry, I was so rude. I almost didn't recognize you. Come on in, Sam. I'll make you dinner.
No, I can only stay for a minute. I have some questions I need to ask you.
Of course, Sam.
So, Mom, how's it going?
Oh, you know me, Sam. It's tough living here on my own. But I get by.
Yeah, I can see that. Listen, Mom, I need you to think very carefully. What's the last thing you remember?
What do you mean? Answering the door and seeing you, of course.
And before that?
Nothing. You know nobody comes here. Except for the grocer sometimes. And that...
That who?
Nobody.
So, Mom, how are my brothers and or sisters?
That's not funny, Sam. You know you're an only child.
Right, just checking.
I was so unsure of this line. I thought it might have been too glib and too flip and too haha funny, but Abe loved the line, Chen loved the line, all the beta testers liked the line, so I kept it in. I'm still not sure if it's appropriate, but everyone likes it, so I kept it in.
Mom, look around carefully. Are you sure that you're at home?
You're so confusing, Sam. Look at the door. It says D, clear as day.
How's Dad, Mom?
Oh, Sam. You know that your father is dead? John Durkin died years ago.
Ah, right. Sorry. So, tell me more about yourself, Mom.
Sam, since when did you become so interested?
Just trying to get to know you better.
Well, isn't that sweet? But I honestly don't know what to tell you.
So what can you tell me about me?
You're so confusing, Sam.
Never mind. Do you know a guy named John Durkin?
Is that a joke, Sam? You know he's been dead for 10 years.
Sorry.
How can you forget? He was your father!
Slipped my mind.
Slipped your mind?
Just, look, forget it. I'm going to go now, Mom. I'll come back to visit you soon.
Sure, Sam. I'll be here.
So how's your new friend?
Oh, just dandy.
Joey, come here.
Yeah, doll?
I need a change in my life, Joey.
A change? The day-to-day grind of freeing tormented spirits getting too boring for you?
No, I'm thinking of changing the wallpaper. How does pink sound to you?
Pink? You're not a pink person.
It would brighten up the place.
No pink.
Any thoughts on our construction site ghost?
Her? She's not bad looking in a motherly kind of way.
Any thoughts on how to save her?
Nothing springs to mind.
Family relationships are tricky things.
It gets even trickier when the dead are involved.
Family relationships are tricky things.
It gets even trickier when the dead are involved.
That's it for now.
Yeah, we'll talk more later.
If John Durkin was Sam's father, it's only logical that Sam's last name would be Durkin. There's no listing. I thought for sure that would work. There's no entry for that. Columbia University. Here's the number.
Columbia University, operator speaking. How may I direct your call?
How about Sam Durkin? Is there a Sam Durkin listed?
Sam Durkin, yes. Hold, please.
It's about time.
Originally, this role was given to Erin Robinson. She wanted to have a small cameo in the game, so I told her she could do the Columbia operator. And unfortunately, the microphone she had a lot of hiss and background noise, and we tried to use a background noise filter, but it got so heavily modulated, and it's such a minor thing, a little background noise wouldn't have mattered so much, but it was the sheer quantity of it just made it impossible. So she graciously stepped aside and told me to recast the role. So I called up Julia Dittar, a friend of mine who she does programming and art for Flash games. She came over and she just sat down and read the lines, and she was actually pretty perfect because she sounds like a college kid. She could be just some college kid working the switchboard, to earn some extra money, and she sounds and looks and acts like a college kid, even though she's a bit older than that, so she was perfect.
Durkin.
Is this Sam?
Yeah? Who's this?
My name is Lauren Blackwell. I was hoping to ask you a few questions about your mother.
Oh, questions, huh?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll bite. How do you know my mom?
Originally, this character's name was Danny, but in writing the dialogue, I just knew it had to be a younger version of Sam Durkin from the Shiva. It just was meant to be. So Francisco Gonzalez got to reprise his role as Sam Durkin, so he was happy to do that.
I was a friend.
A friend?
That's right.
We both know that's a lie. She didn't have any friends.
Whether you believe me or not, it can't hurt to talk to me.
Maybe. Maybe not. But if you knew her, you'd know what apartment number she was in.
I would?
Sure you would. She never left the damn place. So what was it? Alright, so maybe you did know her.
Thank you.
So what do you want to know about her?
What do you know about her death?
It was suicide.
She killed herself?
Not literally, but it was like she chose to die. She had every opportunity to leave. They were gonna pay her and find her a new place and everything. I tried to get her out, but that's my mom. She couldn't be dragged out of that dump by anybody or anything.
Do you know who killed her?
She was killed by some junkie, wasn't she?
So they say.
You think different?
That's what I'm trying to find out.
Well, good luck to you.
How close were you with your mother?
Close. Think of the farthest place you can, and add another 10,000 miles. That's how close we were. Woman wasn't a mother, just crazy on wheels.
Did Mavis ever leave her apartment?
Never. Not once in the last 15 years.
You don't seem upset by her death.
Upset? Sure, she was my mom. But am I gonna lose sleep? No. She drove my pop out of the house and into an early grave. I once thought I'd follow in his footsteps, but not anymore. The woman didn't go anywhere, never did anything. She was killing me just by existing. Now I feel like I can breathe again. That's the truth.
What was it like living with her?
You kidding? I lived with my pop. After 3 years of marriage, he had enough. Glad he had the sense to take me with him.
And after your father died?
I got by.
You never visited your mother?
Yeah, I visited her on Mother's Day, if that's what you want to know. Even got her a present once.
Really?
Yeah, for all the good it did.
What did you give your mom for Mother's Day?
I don't think that's any of your business, lady. It's been years. Just dust in the ground now.
Bye, Sam. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
I'm not carrying that around. A doormat. It says welcome on it, for all the good it does. Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Yes?
I'm becoming downright popular. Come in, have a seat.
Do you know anything about John Durkin, Mavis's ex-husband?
Oh yeah, she did talk about him. Broke her heart, she said. I know they divorced very early in the marriage, and he died several years later. But I'm afraid I know nothing else.
Do you know anything about Sam, Mavis's son?
I'm afraid not. Mavis discussed her son and seemed proud of him, but I don't think they see each other. I've never met the boy myself.
Did Mavis ever mention a gift or present from her son?
Now that you mention it, yes. She showed me a leather-bound edition of Alice in Wonderland and said it was from her son.
Alice in Wonderland?
Yes, by Lewis Carroll.
Yeah, I've heard of it. What was that present Mavis got from her son?
It was a leather-bound copy of Alice in Wonderland.
I think that's all for now.
All right. You have a good night now.
I'm going in again. You know what to do.
Yeah, I'll wait here.
Did I leave the gas on?
Hey, kid! Knock on the gate again.
My, I'm popular today. Oh, hello, Sam.
Hi, Mom. Hey, Mom.
The good thing about knowing beforehand who's going to play a role is that you can totally envision how they're going to perform certain lines. And this whole mom thing is something, as I was writing it, I was cracking up. Because I could just imagine Abe's voice saying these lines, and I would just laugh. And when Abe actually performed the lines, he didn't disappoint.
Do you have that present I gave you?
Which present was that?
The book, Alice in Wonderland.
Of course I still have it. It was the only Mother's Day gift you ever bought me, Sam.
Can I see it?
Whatever for?
Come on, Ma, I just want to see it.
Sure, Sam. It's right on the table.
Great. Why don't you bring it out here?
You mean pick it up?
Yeah, pick it up and bring it over.
Pick it up. Sure, I can pick it up. Oh no!
What?
The book, it's gone!
Gone, huh? Imagine that.
Somebody stole it! Sam, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, Mom.
Okay? I lost your gift!
You can't pick up the book because it's not there.
Sam?
The book's not there, and neither is the table, right?
What?
Think! The book's gone, the table's gone, the whole room is gone.
Sam, you're awful. I'm upset and I'm sorry. Don't make it worse, please.
You need to find that book, Mom. I don't know if I can love a mother who loses my gifts.
You don't mean that.
I mean it, Mom. You need to tell me where the book is.
But I don't know where to look.
Maybe it's under the sofa.
No, it's not there.
In the bathroom.
No, I never saw it in there.
Maybe it's out here, Mom.
In the hallway?
Sure, in the hallway. Yeah, I'm sure it's out here. Come on out and help me look.
Oh, okay, Sam. But only for you. I still don't see it anywhere.
Let's try further down, Mom.
I'm outside.
Yeah, I knew you could do it, Mom.
Mom?
Sam? Sam, where are we? I'm scared.
I'm right here. Mom, I need you to do something.
What?
Turn around.
I can't.
Sure you can. Just turn around and look behind you.
Oh, where's the building? Where's my apartment? Where's my home? It's gone! Those bastards, they tore it down! You made me leave, and they tore it down!
Hey, calm down.
I've got nothing now.
Mom!
I am not your mother! You are not my son. My son hates me. All I had left was my home, and then I... Oh, God! Are you happy now? You couldn't just leave me there. You had to bring me out. You had to make me remember.
I'm sorry.
It's horrible. Being dead, it's horrible.
You get used to it.
I don't want to feel like this anymore. Everything is so dark and cold. Can I go home now?
Sure, I can take you home. Just hold on to this. Over to you, kid.
Right.
So let's talk about Node Space. This was really cool.
Thank you. It was one of the more fun ones to design. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say this, but I thought the Node Space in the other game was good, but kind of boring for what it should have been. I wanted Lauren's walkway to be a bit more wacky and weird, and because Rosa, I think, is a very straight-laced character, so it makes sense that her pathway is very, like, neat cobblestones, but I don't know, Lauren's ended up looking a bit more like marshmallow bits, which wasn't quite my intention, but it's kind of spirals off into infinity and, you know, kind of raises some questions. The path is also supposed to look like it breaks out more as you get away from the door, so.
Yeah, I like that. It reminded me of that, you said marshmallow bits, so some kind of like chalky, multicolored candy.
They're called rockets.
Yes.
I think you guys called them Smarties.
Oh my God.
Mavis?
It's so bright and big. It just goes on forever. I just want to go home. Please, can I go home?
I think that's the only home you've got now. I'm sorry.
What a legacy. Husband gone and dead. My son hates my guts. My home is gone. My life over. I remember that too. Dying, I mean. That old woman choking me.
Old woman?
She just came in and killed me. She said she was going to help me. Well, what now?
The light, Mavis. Just head towards it.
And then?
I don't know.
I'm scared, but it feels right somehow. Oh, John, Sam, I'm so sorry for everything.
This is probably the saddest character I've ever created. Mavis is, God, she's depressing. And I was trying to think of ways maybe to make it a little happier for her, maybe even an alternate way of playing through this section, bringing the sun in maybe, or something, I don't know. Or maybe if Joey could continue to pretend to be her son, I don't know. But you know what? It wasn't appropriate. It just really, you know, has a lot of regret. She's lived her life this way, and there are consequences to that she has to accept. And she's accepted them. She regrets them, but she's accepted them. You know, she's lived a life, she's made her choices, and, you know, she has to live with them, or in her case, she has to die with them. And she still has to move on. It's too late now. And to magically make it better just felt like it was cheating the character and cheating the situation and cheating the lesson, I guess, behind it, that there are consequences to this. I know that there are many times that I don't want to be social, I don't want to go out, and I stay home for long periods at a time, and I become very lonely. That's a consequence of shutting yourself away from people. So I make an effort to be social when I can, and that's, you know, that's a lesson to be learned from this, if anything. And to make it happier, to make it magically go away, would have been cheating, would have been unfair. So I kept it sad, and I kept it regretful, and I hope I didn't depress you guys, but this is the way it had to be, I think.
I wish I could feel sorry for you. but I don't feel much of anything anymore. Best of luck, wherever you are.
You alright?
Yeah, fine. I'm exhausted. Call it a night?
Sounds good to me.
You?
Like clockwork.
You saved her.
Yeah, sure we did. No thanks to you.
We've got some questions for you, lady.
Why did you kill Isaac and Mavis?
I didn't kill them. I'm like you.
You're nothing like us. We don't kill.
I help spirits into the next world, like you.
You mean you're a medium?
Yes.
But you can't be.
I am like you.
Wait, no. This doesn't make any sense. Why are you killing people?
I save people. I don't hurt them.
Get back here! Stupid old hag! Let's get after her.
I'm a dog owner now. I've got a Boston Terrier named Cooper, and this dog took a big shine to Stephanie Cox-Williams, the woman playing the Countess. Stephanie was trying to deliver this very intense, very focused, sometimes quite emotional performance, all while this little Boston Terrier was trying to lick her on the face, jump into her lap, rubbing his head against her legs. Apparently she owns cats, which is maybe he's smelling the cats. I don't know. But it was very distracting. I kept laughing. Stephanie, however, was a total professional, very focused, managed to tune out the dog, and delivered a very, very strong performance.
God damn it!
Your nose okay?
That lamppost should not have been there.
Yes, I admit, this is very obviously a cop-out. If I had the liberty of a budget and a full-time professional art team, I would have loved to include some kind of chase sequence where you chase the Countess and blah blah blah. But, you know, I'm on a budget here. This is how it had to be.
Feeling better?
I'm so confused, Joey. I feel like the answer is on the tip of my tongue. I just can't figure it out.
Well, let's chat for a while. Brainstorm a bit. Maybe we'll come up with something.
She's a medium like me. It makes no sense.
It does make sense, actually. She's not an animal or another ghost. The only way she could see me is if she was a medium like you.
Why would a medium kill?
Maybe she doesn't think of it as killing. She did say she helped people, saved them.
By killing them?
Maybe she felt they were better off dead?
I don't think so. Mavis and Isaac were sad, mixed up people. But they didn't deserve to die.
Maybe she thinks otherwise.
Is she my future?
What do you mean?
That woman, the Countess, or whatever she's called. Is that what happens to mediums when they get old?
I don't know, darling. I really don't. But I won't let that happen to you. You have my word on that.
If she's a medium, where is her spirit guide?
You know, I wondered that myself. I'm your connection to the spirit world. The Countess, or whoever she is, doesn't have that. Or at least none that we can see.
Is it possible to be a medium without a guide?
I don't think so, sweetheart. That's one thing I'm sure of. Medium and guide. That's how it works.
What could have happened to her spirit guide?
I don't know.
I thought you couldn't leave my side.
I know. Either her spirit guide managed to escape, or...
Or what?
Or it was killed.
Is that possible?
I don't know. I don't think I want to know.
So what could her connection be?
Dunno. Something has to connect her to the spirit world. It's not another ghost or we would see it. So it must be something else. Something that has a connection to everything we've seen.
Or someone.
Yeah, that's it. The Countess connects these two cases. There has to be something or someone else that has the same connection.
Cecil Sharp?
Nah, he knew Isaac, but he didn't know Mavis.
Dwayne?
That music guy? No, couldn't be him. He didn't know Mavis and barely knew Isaac at all.
Harriet Sherman?
Well, she's certainly old enough to know the Countess. But I don't think so. She knew Mavis, but not Isaac.
Sam Durkin?
I don't think that kid has anything to do with this. He knew Mavis, obviously, but he has no connection to Isaac that I can see.
Joseph Mitchell?
Bingo!
The reporter? How could he have this kind of power?
I don't know how he got the power, but it all fits. He wrote about both Mavis and Isaac, and the Countess killed both of them. He seems like the best candidate.
But it doesn't make any sense.
Think about it. You're a medium. What is it that mediums do?
We help spirits into the next world.
Exactly. A medium needs a guide. Hers is gone. Somehow Mitchell fills in the gap. Our Countess is being told through Mitchell's writing to help certain spirits into the next world. It's not her fault they're still alive.
You mean...
I think you get the picture.
Oh God, that's sick.
It makes sense, though.
How is this possible?
There's only one way to find out. It's time we paid our friend Mitchell one more visit.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Right behind you.
Yes? Miss Blackwell.
Hello again, Mr. Mitchell.
I was just about to head home.
Oh, I'll just be a second.
Well, if you insist, do have a seat.
Thanks, but I'd rather stand.
Go on, let him have it.
Mind if I smoke?
Well, actually.
Thanks.
Miss Blackwell, my patience is wearing thin. My family is waiting for me. Tell me what you want. Doing voice acting for games is difficult. I feel bad for the actors sometimes because the script is so non-linear. There's no logical progression, usually. Things can be said in any order, and especially in the way it's scripted, you could have a whole bunch of different emotional responses all lumped together in the same area. Like here, Lauren comes into Mitchell's office and she's kind of pissed off and very confrontational, but within the code that comes right after Lauren just comes in and says hello very neutrally. So Danny would often have to change emotion on a dime without any real context within the script. And I imagine it's very challenging for an actor to do that. And she managed to pick it up really quickly. When we first sat down, she needed context for every single little line, but after a while she kind of got the gist of it. I just let her read, and if anything required a little bit more direction, I'd interrupt her and give her the instruction, and she would just go. So I do think that doing voice acting for games for an actor is a real skill.
You finished your writing for the day, Mr. Mitchell?
Yes I have. And now I'm going home.
He's full of hot air. The page is blank.
You haven't written anything today, have you?
Why do you say that?
The paper is blank.
What? How do you know that?
I have exceptional eyesight.
There's dust. Don't forget the dust.
And there's dust on the typewriter.
Well, can't contradict you there.
So?
So, I don't think that's any of your business, Miss Blackwell. Now, if you'll excuse me.
Mr. Mitchell, 2 people are dead.
So I gathered.
You wrote about both of them.
Yes, I did.
You don't find anything suspicious about that.
I've written about hundreds of people over 30 years. The fact that 2 of them happen to be dead does not surprise me. It's just a coincidence.
Funny thing about my life, Mr. Mitchell? If something looks like a coincidence, it normally isn't.
Well, I hate to disappoint you.
Ooh, look at the sweat on this guy's brow. If he ain't lying, I'm dying, so to speak.
You aren't a very good liar.
And you are poking your nose into things you don't understand.
You'd be surprised at what I understand, Mr. Mitchell. Try me.
Who are you anyway? You come in, out of the blue, and bring up all this.
All of what?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I write about people and they die. Can you understand that? Can you? My whole life I've been driven to write about people. now I kill them instead.
Why is this happening?
I think it's a penance of some kind. I've shared the intimate details of people's lives with the world. Perhaps I revealed one secret too many. I don't think about it anymore. I just come to work like nothing's wrong. Everyone's been very polite so far, but I'm sure the ball will drop someday.
You've done nothing wrong. There's a woman called the Countess. She kills whoever you write about.
A countess killing people that I write about. That's a tall story, and that's a lot to take in. Why would she do something like that? How did this happen?
Probably because of your connection to humanity. I don't know.
You said probably, so you're not sure?
Not as such, no.
Well then, I appreciate you trying, but I prefer if you left well enough alone.
You're not a murderer, Mr. Mitchell.
No, I'm not. 5 years back, I tried to write about a man. An old man in a bar. He was killed the next day, choked to death. I didn't think anything of it at the time. Then I wrote about another man, Mr. Isaac Brown. You know him. He died the same way. Still figured it was just a coincidence. But then it happened with Mavis Wilcox. For the 3rd time in a row. No, I didn't kill them. Not on purpose. But if I wrote a 4th time, that would be murder. Plain and simple.
I can't leave it alone, Mr. Mitchell.
Oh, rest assured you can. You seem like a capable young lady, and I'm sure you think you know what's what. But I don't want any more deaths on my conscience.
I'm trying to help you.
And I never asked for it. People die when I write. So, I don't write. The problem's solved.
If you won't help me, I'll have to go to the police.
Oh? And tell them what?
All those deaths, all killed the same way, so soon after you met them? I'm sure they'd be interested in that information.
Is that right? Well, I'd be careful if I were you.
Careful?
I'm not without defenses, if you know what I mean.
Is that a threat? Are you threatening to write about me?
I didn't say anything.
Don't you want to write again?
Oh, yes. But people are safe as long as I don't write about anything real. I've always wanted to try handed fiction. Had a story in my head for years. I'll probably give it a whirl, see how it goes. But no more deaths. Not on my watch.
Don't you want to help? There's a killer out there.
Who only kills people I write about. So I stopped writing about people. Problem solved.
You know what? Go right ahead.
What do you mean?
You want to write so bad? Write about me. Dust off that typewriter and get to work. Knock yourself out.
Listen, I spoke out of turn. I didn't honestly mean...
Hell with that. Just do it.
Hey, this is dangerous.
I know what I'm doing.
I can't do it.
Like hell you can't. You've been writing for how long? 30 years? More? I know you can do it. I want to meet this thing head on. It's the only way. Do it.
You don't know what you're asking.
What's the worst that could happen?
You could die.
Oh. Is that all?
But...
Quiet. Right. I was born in Troy, upstate New York. My mother's name was Patricia. My father... You getting this stuff down?
For those of you interested in behind-the-scenes drama and stuff, we were just about to record this whole section where Lauren's all pissed off and confrontational, and something happened, whether one of our phones rang or something happened. I had to pause the software. Audacity is what we use, and then I forgot to unpause it, and we went through the whole friggin' thing, and then I went to check it, and then I realized we hadn't recorded any of it. So, that was a moment where my life was in horrible danger, a moment where Danny was not too pleased with me. But we just bucked up, did it again, and since we had practiced it, you could call it a rehearsal, we got through it pretty quickly the second time, and the performance is probably better for it. So, maybe I should do that type of thing more often.
Well, I hope you're happy.
I'm never happy.
Hey. We're supposed to be a team. You can't make this kind of decision without asking me first.
Button it, Joey. If this broad's a medium like me, then I have some questions for her. If I'm gonna end up like that, I want to know.
And if she kills you for your trouble?
Well, then I won't have to worry.
And what happens to me, huh? You die, what the heck happens to me?
You'll move on to whoever's next. That's how it works, doesn't it?
It's not about that.
Maybe you'll end up with my baby brother. I'm sure you guys will get along great.
Yeah, great. When do you think she'll get here?
I don't know. I feel her coming, though. She knows who I am.
How can you feel that?
I just do. She was right. She's like me. Maybe mediums call out to each other.
So, any thought on how to handle her?
Nope, not a one. I just want to talk to her.
Well, she can see and hear me, so I can help. You're not alone.
Yeah.
You understand? You're not alone.
I'm tired, Joey. I'm so tired.
All right, I'll just leave you to it.
Yeah.
She's here. So polite of her to knock.
I know you.
Yes, you know me. Come in.
I'm watching you.
So, what's your story?
I want to help you.
Help me, huh?
You're in pain? Lost? I can help.
Who are you?
I am the Countess.
Do you have a guide? The spirit guide?
I still feel her. She is gone, but not completely gone.
What do you mean?
Kid, her mind is snapped. She's not gonna make any sense.
Yes, she snapped my mind. She went away and my world expanded. I see everything. Everything. It hurts.
You're bonded with Joseph Mitchell.
Is that his name? The guide who is not a guide? Yes, the non-guide. He speaks to the world. He spoke to me. He tells me what to do. Oh, he is so often silent. It's been years since I heard his voice, but tonight I heard him. He told me to help you.
He didn't tell you that.
Why else would I be here? I'm here to help you.
You're here to kill me.
No! I don't kill! I will set you free!
Hey, watch it, lady.
Who was your spirit guide?
She had a name. I no longer know. I wish I knew. I cannot think. Not without her. Why did she leave? Why?
Where is your spirit guide now?
I don't know. Her voice is gone. I'm lost. I found that other voice, but he is so quiet.
You mean Mitchell?
The true guide. She is gone. Gone.
How did she go away?
I don't know. She found a way. Why did she do that?
Were you like me before your spirit guide went away?
Like you?
You know, sane.
Joey.
I was happy. I was smaller. Saw the world in muted colors. And there was music. Sweet music. We helped people. It felt good. Now she is gone. Now I help people, but it feels bad.
Will I become like you? Please tell me. That's all I want to know.
You are loved.
Loved? Loved by who?
You are in pain, my child. Let me help you.
Yes, please help me.
Oh, my child, it will all be over soon. You need to be free.
Hey, let her go, you old witch! Damn it! I can't do anything. Fight her, Lauren. Fight back. Fight back, damn you! What are you doing? That's not gonna work. Fight her!
When I first started designing this series back in 2004, I kind of went a little overboard with the backstory. I knew that the Countess and Lauren had a confrontation, and during that confrontation, Lauren stabs the Countess in the eye with a cigarette. And I'm glad I got to show it, because it's something I've been waiting to see for 3 years. So it might have grossed you out, but man, I love seeing it. And the blood was actually Erin's idea. She asked me if I wanted it grisly, and I said, yeah, let's make it grisly. I wasn't quite expecting the blood, but I like it.
All right. That's what happens when you mess with us. Stay away from her.
No, she needs my help!
Hey, you want to help someone? Why don't you help me? You want to free a spirit? Well, I'm the real McCoy.
You?
Yeah, that's right. Come and save me. I'm right here.
Wait! I'm supposed to help her! Oh! My head!
I'm waiting.
I'll save you.
I'm in pain. What are you gonna do about it?
I can help you.
You're past your prime. I don't think you can handle it.
You.
Come on, then. Make with the saving.
You need me?
Come on. Take me to the place with the bright light.
I can help you.
Well, come on. What are you waiting for?
I want to help you. Why won't you let me help you?
Joey? I'm sorry. I can't look. Is she?
Yeah.
There's no...
No ghost. She's gone.
Gone. I killed her.
It was either her or you, darling. You made the right choice.
Did I? What if that's me one day, huh? What if I'm old and confused and alone?
You won't be alone. I'll make sure of that.
You say that now. But look at her. Her guide was gone.
I can't speak for the future, kid. Maybe someday we'll meet someone like her, and then maybe we'll find out more. But right here, right now, I'm here, and I'm staying put. That's something, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yeah, it's something.
This is a bad idea. You don't need to do this.
Hello?
Hi, Jack?
Lauren, sis, is that you?
Yeah, Jack. It's me.
Where have you been?
It's not important. I miss you. Tell me about your life, Jack. How's Maria? When's the wedding?
This is a really bad idea.
When the sun sets quietly o'er the sea, when the stars shine on a sad old memory, that's when solitude begins. When the moon casts shadows in the night, when a love solitude begins. But when day breaks, I turn around to see that your shadow was nothing else but me. That's when solitude begins. When the sun sets quietly o'er the sea, when the stars shine on a sad old memory, that's when solitude begins. When the moon casts shadows in the night, when a love says that her love...
I guess it's become a Wow Jedi tradition to give you some final thoughts when the credits roll during this commentary. And I guess what's interesting about this game is that my attitude towards it kind of changed. I originally started making this game for purely capitalist reasons. It had been a long time since my previous game came out. It had been about 5 or 6 months, and I knew it was going to be another 6 months or so before the next one could come out, because the Blackwell Convergence was pretty large. And I knew I had to get something else out in the meantime, just to tide people over, get people's attention back on me, generate some interest and publicity, and more importantly, bring some money in, because I was running out. So I deliberately wanted to keep everything reasonably simple in order to facilitate getting it out quick. But my attitude towards this game really changed while I was making it. As I got really enmeshed in the dialogue writing, the coding, all of the blocking and everything, working with the actors and everything, as time went on, I really got emotionally involved in the characters. And it's not something I was expecting. It really did take a life on its own. And I really do think that gameplay-wise, this game is probably one of the best things I've done. It's very hard in adventure games to reach that point between gameplay and storytelling, because either you get too much gameplay, so many puzzles that the story suffers, or there's too much story and there's not a lot of stuff for the player to actually do. And I think if I didn't quite hit that sweet spot between the two, I've come closer than I ever have. So in that respect, this game was such a major learning experience for me. It really was a lot of fun to work on it. It was the first game I've worked on where I wasn't totally sick of it by the end. So I think that's a good sign. I really enjoyed making it. I hope you enjoyed playing it. And that is really it, guys. That's it. So until next time, thanks for playing.
That's when solitude begins.